Now let's move to ambient sounds. And to add ambient sounds, you need to label the regions where a special ambient sound should play. So to label the regions, we need to create so-called info location entities. So go to the info folder and select info location. Make sure this entity is inside all of the brushes here, and give this entity the property ambient, and then a memorable name for this region. Call it large room. Remember that name, apply this property, and copy this entity for another region. Again, give this entity the property ambient and a memorable name. Now deselect and create another entity. Now we need to specify which sounds should play in these areas. So create an info location settings. No, actually it's only location settings, and give it the property SND for sound, underscore, and then the name for the areas. We had large room. Apply and click on this property again, and then on this button choose sound. Now we can go to the ambient folder and select something. Probably not the alien loops because they sound too alien, but something else. This is completely fine here. Then for the other area, also make another property, SND underscore, in our case, corridor. Apply and click on that one, and again choose sound. Choose another sound then. Perfect. Now these sounds are specified. So the last thing that needs to be done is to separate these areas. For this we also need special entities, info location separator. And we need to place one in the one door where there's some separating the areas, and then another one also in the other door. We specified the sounds for this map, and I figured what also should be a nice thing for maps is swimmable water, so I just show you how you do that. First of all, you need to create a sort of pool for the water. So I just changed the grid size to a larger one, and then create two brushes of the same size. First I press Q, the Q key, to go back to the resize mode, and then make some brush that is the size of the water. When we do that, I recommend to just copy it so that you have two brushes of the exact same size in the same position, and one brush will be actually the walls for this pool, and the other brush will be the brush with the actual water. So here, click the Make Room button, and what you can do is first delete the top wall because you don't need that. Then I recommend changing the size of the walls to make it look a little bit more natural here. Then because it's a little bit difficult to select here, I show you a tip. You can temporarily hide some objects. So I want this floor to just be hidden so I can more easily select it. So you need to select the floor and then press the H key. Now it is hidden, but it's still there, but it's just hidden from view. Now you can select the brushes you like. I just extend it a little bit upwards because I think it will look nicer then. And then actually I want to give it another texture, maybe this time a metal texture. And well, I'm not too sure which one. I just take this one now. And this is the pool. To make the floor reappear, press Shift and H, and everything that was hidden will come back into view. Now this brush here should be water. So first of all, we need to give it a texture that is not visible. This is really important, otherwise it will look strange in the game. So choose from the textures folder, common, and then the texture no draw. Right click, apply to selection. So it is not visible yet because the floor brush hides part of it. So let's clip this part out. Using the clipper tool, press X. Select the lines along which you want to cut. Delete this part. And you will see the no draw texture. Now select this brush again, and while it is selected, create an entity that will make it into swimmable water. So we go to the liquids folder, extend it, and select liquid water. Add this to the brush. Press escape and Control Shift left mouse button, only top face is selected. And now let's give it a water texture so that it actually looks like water. So we go to the water source folder down here and give it maybe water clear. Right click, apply to selection. Now this is kind of a little water pool you can swim in. And also I will show you now how you can show part of a sky in your map. So actually here you can make use of a prefab again. But first let's cut a kind of an opening into the ceiling so that you can see the sky in there. I'm still in clipper mode, so I go ahead and clip some part from this ceiling brush away. Now with this one selected, I press W to go in the precision mode and move it upwards a little bit. Now there's a leak to empty space. That's not acceptable. This will crash, lead to a crash in the game. So make sure there's no leak here. And now you may or may not see a pink texture here. If you don't see it, it could be because you have the cork filter enabled. So go to the filter menu and check that cork is not enabled here. So disable it. This will show you the actual cork texture. And now to give these here the same stone texture, just again only select the face of some adjacent brush with the stone texture, then click on the middle mouse button. This copies the texture, deselect with escape, and then select the face of one of these cork textured sides here. And then hold Control and click the middle mouse button to paste the texture. Do the same thing for the other faces here. Now this face here should be actually sky, so we need to give it a special texture, and this you find in the here in this folder SMF extended, and choose Portal Sky, apply to selection, and to actually see the sky we need to add a prefab now of a sky, and this you find in the nature. As if you click on nature here, then sky boxes, and then whatever you like. Actually, I forgot to tell you something. You need to create an ambient light after you create the location settings. I don't know why is that, but for now I just delete this ambient light again and create a new one. Now this is actually everything I want to tell you in this tutorial. Let's go ahead and save this map and see how it looks like and if everything works properly. So now we created water here. Over there is the sky. It's a little bit not looking too great because the ceiling brush is a little bit thin. We can adjust it, and the water you can swim in. You can actually tweak the water a little bit to make it look even more realistic, but this is something for a more in-depth tutorial.